Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about why Virginia home invasions are, in fact, not pranks, and why the dumbass teenagers that were legal adults, in this case, need to be the ones getting charged with potential second-degree murder of their buddy, and not the homeowner who actually shot and killed this idiot. So, for those who haven't heard about the story yet, it's kind of going around the gun community a little bit here and there now. And basically what happened was a couple days ago, or like a week ago or so, you had this dude in Virginia who was minding his own business at his home. 3 a.m., randomly hears people beating on his door, rightfully goes to said door with a gun, and as far as we're aware, shot and killed one of the three idiots that were banging on his door, beating his door, and whatever the case be there. And then went to the second one. Of course, when it was reported to the cops, it was reported, rightfully so, as a burglary in progress, which really should have been a home invasion in progress. And then apparently, when the cops finally did get there, they ended up arresting the homeowner instead, claiming that, he didn't have like castle doctrine on his side, which I guess apparently in Virginia there's not really castle doctrine at all, which is absolute bullshit. And again, why I've been fighting so hard for nationwide stand your ground laws and stuff like that, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's no way that this case in particular is not a clear-cut case of castle doctrine, of stand your ground, etc., where this man was obviously in fear of his life. You have three dipshits at 3 a.m. going around kicking people's doors in, or striking people's doors in, beating people's doors in, whatever the case be, falsely claiming they're doing ding-dong ditch shit, which, by the way, it's 2025, people. You don't do fucking pranks in the middle of the goddamn night, you morons. Especially not on random strangers you don't fucking know. It's literally the definition of fucking around and finding out. It's just ignorant ass shit by a bunch of ignorant ass fucking Gen Z fucking retarded pieces of shit at this point. And then, of course, how the media spins this is, oh, but he was such a good boy. He was a lacrosse player. It's like, who gives a shit, dude? He was committing crimes at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. He's an idiot. He's a fucking moron, period, in the story. One thing I thought was very interesting with Clay Noir's video is he found other people doing similar so-called pranks, which, again, are just home invasions, that they're going to try to push off as pranks because they don't want to get arrested for fucking felonies they're committing at that point. But yeah, this is one of the ones from Noir's video right here. And right here, like this particular case, if I'm seeing this shit at my door at 3 a.m., where there's 3 or 4 guys about to kick my fucking door in, oh, you bet your ass there's going to be fucking bullets flying through that fucking door, dude. So, but yeah, this is the shit that they call pranks right here, of them full force kicking at doors, fucking literally jump kicking doors. And then these morons having the actual self-awareness, just enough so to realize, oh, we might get shot and killed by somebody behind this door. Maybe we shouldn't do dumb shit here. But yet they continue to do dumbass retarded shit like that because they're fucking dumbasses and retards, dude. And this is the problem with society in that short. Here's what it is. Now, granted, in the case in Virginia, when you actually look into it, it was a... What do we got here now? In this particular case, I believe that the guy who they actually arrested, who was shooting, was this black dude right here, and the dumbasses that he actually shot were, I believe it was... Here's a little show here. So I don't want to see... Don't want to hear Noir's bullshit. I'm just trying to find the actual... Yeah, so that was the guy that was the homeowner, apparently. And then it was... Damn, my notes here someplace. It was at the very beginning. Oh, no, I guess it's the very beginning. Well, no. It was maybe right after that whole thing. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, it was here it says. Approximately 3 a.m. Spotsville County Sheriff's Office received a call for residential burglary in progress, where a resident fired shots. And then it was this moron right here in the black was the one that got shot and killed. So it was basically a black gunner killing white teen is what it was. What it seems like anyway in this case. Doesn't really matter the races at all for that matter. What matters is the fact that, like, when you're sitting there doing dumb fucking shit like that, and you're committing literally attempted home invasions at 3 o'clock in the morning, what the hell do you think somebody's gonna do, man? Of course they're gonna pull out a gun and, start blasting. It's just common sense at that point. You wake somebody up with dead sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, dude. Like, of course they're gonna, grab for their nightstand firearm and go at it. That's what it is. So it's completely fucking ignorant to think you can walk around doing dumb shit like that and not have consequences for your actions. And like I said, even in the case of the other, YNs, there's what it was. You had those idiots, just like, one of the 4 idiots anyway, 25% of them is what it is, had the, self-awareness of, hey guys, we might actually get shot here. Maybe we shouldn't be kicking this guy's door in. But yet they proceeded to do that before one had the smarts to actually be like, yeah, this is kind of a dumbass thing to do. So, yeah, it's just fucking... It's just complete ignorance is what it is, dude. And it just really shows how stupid people in our society are is what it is, and especially younger generations for these days. Because they want that social media clout is what it is. They're a bunch of morons clout chasing and being like, hey, let's go do dumbass, retarded fucking crimes and claim they're fucking pranks. What it reminds me of, honestly, is it reminds me of about maybe 3 to 4 years ago, I believe it was. There was another teenager who was going around to people's vehicles in like Walmarts and Target parking lots and stuff like that, and literally throwing what he was claiming was like gas or kerosene on the windshield, and then wondered why some old white dude literally pulled a 1911 on his ass and almost clapped him right then and there. And it's like, yeah, you do dumbass fucking retarded shit, you're gonna be getting consequences for it, dude. Like, don't teach stupid shit. You're not gonna get fucking, domed in the head at that point then. And stop committing fucking crime and acting like it's a fucking prank, dude. Well, it's not. It's literally either a felony or a misdemeanor crime they're committing right there is what it is. So, yeah, this whole thing really bothers the shit on me is what it is, dude. Because, like I said, in the case of the homeowner, it sounded like he was in the right, at least from what we know from that story right now is what it is. And the fact that you have them arresting and charging him with potentially second-degree murder over this shit is absolutely ridiculous as it is. When the reality of the matter is, it should have been the 2 remaining teens that were still alive should be the ones getting charged with technically felony murder rules, what it is, because they were openly committing a felony, or a commission of a felony is what it was, at the time of their idiot buddy getting shot and killed then. And that felony being obviously home invasion at that point, or burglary in progress, as we're going to call it there. So, yeah, it's just really stupid shit, honestly. And it's like, stop fucking around, kids. Like, seriously. You want to go do something, go get a real job. Go contribute to society, dude. Stop being a bunch of clout-chasing fucking retards. Doing the lowest common denominator of stupid shit. Acting as if it's fucking pranks, and then wondering why you're getting killed for doing these stupid-ass fucking crimes is what it is. So, anyway. That's about all I got to say for that one. For those that haven't seen, also, besides that whole thing today, because we're only less than 10 minutes in right now. I'm not going to do this too much longer, obviously. But yeah, so apparently, I guess, yesterday, Trump finally brought in some of the Afrikaners from South Africa, the white South Africans, to give them refugee status here in America, which is good for him. It's 7 years too late, honestly. He should have done that shit 7 years ago in his first presidency, or his first term as president. When you had Lord Southern do that Farmlands documentary back in the day that proved the genocide of whites over South Africa there. So, but at least there's, some that are coming through now. And it's interesting too, because as somebody pointed out, apparently, I guess the first wave were 50 people, so it was. And it took 50 white South Africans for the mainstream media, specifically some dumb bitch who was an Obama policymaker that was on CNN in the last day or so, admitting to being sorry, thanks for that. Yeah, you got this dumb bitch from Obama's administration admitting to being a black supremacist, literally, and proving her hate for white South Africans is what it is, and just white people in general. So, of course, a lot of the media, other mainstream media, do the same thing too, for that matter. And it's just like, yeah, you can all go fuck yourselves at the point, dude. If anything, these are the only people that should be running this country, because it's what's interesting to me too, by the way, and I think the reason they hate them so much is because in less than an hour of being in our country, you already have these people assimilating into America. They literally were waving the fucking American flag when they were shown coming off the planes and stuff, because they know that they're actually going to be able to assimilate into this country and survive and thrive, and not have it be a situation where they're going to be genocided in their own fucking home nation because some piece of shit wants to steal their fucking farmlands. Which, ironically enough, I actually posted some stuff on the Discords. I'm going to go grab it real quick here, because it actually shows just how fucking done South Africa as a nation is in the next probably, I would say, couple of years, honestly, at most, at this point. Because, let's see if I can find this real quick. Okay, it wasn't in that one. Thought I posted it here someplace. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I know I posted it here somewhere. It wasn't hot as this is where I posted it in. Probably NEA's then. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is from the N-Wokeness Twitter account, talking about South Africa farming is what it is here. And it was South Africa effed around and found out, and we'll find out, white farmers currently produce 95.3% of their corn, 98.7% of their wheat, 97.6% of their cotton, 97.2% of their citrus, meaning oranges and other, fruits like that, what it is, 99% of their potatoes, 91.4% of their tomatoes, 96.9% of their soybeans, 95.8% of their poultry, so chickens, etc., 66% of their cattle, and not 89% of their wool. Yeah. I honestly think in the next probably year or two, what you're going to see is a bunch of South Africa black supremacists come out and being like, dude, we're starving, we need humanitarian aid now. And it's like, no, fuck you. You can starve, bitch. You can starve just like Zimbabwe starved when they fucking, genocide the white people there is what it is. And that's what's going to become. It's going to become Zimbabwe 2.0 at this point. You fucked around, you're about to find out, people. Like, that's what's crazy, though. 99% of the potato yield is by white farmers. It kind of makes me wonder, though, with all these percentages and stuff like that, like, who is doing the rest? Because the thing is, it's not like it's just white and black there in South Africa. You got other people, specifically of Indian descent, that are also there, because there are a lot of the what do you call it, like mercenary type people or whatever, that are like paid like what do they call those things, quick ration forces and stuff like that. They're basically QRF people is what it is there, that are paid to just be like military for various encampments and things like that in that country to protect people. And that's one thing that we did see when you had things off of South Africa, like I think it was either 2020 or 2021. You had like all the rioting going on in that country, and you had them like looting all the malls and stuff like that in Johannesburg and stuff. And that's one of the things you saw. You saw a lot of the Indian like militia, I guess I would say militia guys at that point. I'm not sure what the actual terminology for it would be. Mercenaries, I guess. But yeah, you saw a lot of the Indian mercs out there who were going around just shooting people, so it was. And I'm also wondering if maybe that's who's producing the rest of the food for them, is what it is there. Like I'm sure there's like a couple black farmers over there in South Africa that are doing some of the yield, but like I would say honestly it was probably, like in that case we know it's majority white, but it's also probably, like I said, Indian or maybe Asian or something like that producing the rest of what it is then. So yeah, they might be done completely as what it is right now. So that's cool. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Like I said, I'd be all for, like, personally, if it was up to me, I would say all these black supremacist types are coming out of the woodwork, abolish leftovers and stuff like that. They want to fuck around like that, strip me U.S. citizenship, kick their ass to South Africa, and replace them with the fucking white farmers that are coming in here is what it is then. Like, do 1 for 1, do 2 for 1, do 10 for 1 for that matter. And we have a better fucking country at this point, honestly. We'd have people in the same thing with Islam for that matter, like kick Islam the fuck out of here and bring in a bunch of white South African farmers, bring in a bunch of, other people that are going to be genocide across the earth that are, actually going to assimilate into this country is what it is. Because that's the thing. We already know Islam never will. We already know a lot of these people from Central America that are, 3-4 generations in right now are still waving fucking Mexican flag and shit like that. They're never going to fucking assimilate into our country. Because true assimilation happens when you're actually waving the American flag, not the fucking flag of your ancestors from their ancestors' homelands, what it is there. And like I said, when you look at the white South Africans coming in, what was the first thing that they did? They were literally waving around American flags. As we see from the Mark Dice video here, where you got the one group just like, and you can see how happy these people are, dude, because they know they're not going to be killed now, is what it is. And then meanwhile, you actually have dumb bitches all over Twitter and stuff like that, who are all like, oh, these people are about to fuck around and find out here in America. And it's like, so you're threatening them on U.S. soil now? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and again, like, this is why I would be like, okay, cool. You're going to give them refugee status? Give them the immediate pathway to American citizenship and give them 2A rights at this point so they can actually defend themselves against these fucking idiots here in America. That's what it is, dude. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just so ridiculous what it is, dude. What's even more disgusting is in the last day it came out, there was I believe it was some kind of NGO that was like Episcopalian or something like that, and they were one of the ones that were bringing in people from various nations for a long time now as so-called refugees, what it is. But yet, as soon as the white farmers started coming from South Africa, they're like, nope, we're not going to give any more stuff to any people to bring them in or whatever the case. And it's like, so you're really just proving your anti-white racism, what it is, dude. And that's the one thing people don't realize is when you actually look at the population of white Americans, or not white Americans, but like just white people in general across the world is what it is right now, the white race only makes up 78% of the entire population of the world right now. And that number is dwindling by the day is what it is when you have genocides going on in places like South Africa, et cetera, there. And then meanwhile, you have all these other countries that are, black ethno-states, Asian ethno-states, et cetera. But yet, God forbid, you have a white ethno-state. And people are all like, oh my God, that's racist. It's like, no, it's not, dude. Like, literally every other fucking race has their own ethno-state at this point. Like, why shouldn't white people? Yes, that is very true. We also have way too many of those fuckers in our state house right now, is what it is. And they're the ones pushing for a bunch of crap. They're pushing for abortion stuff. They're pushing for anti-gun shit, etc. Actually, what's interesting is there was about, I think it was like 17 or 18 Ohio Democrats in the last couple of days now that are now trying to turn, I forget which month it is, into Women's History Month. And it's like, you motherfuckers can't even define what a woman is. How the fuck are you going to designate Women's History Month? So, yeah, it's just fucking insane, dude, is what it is. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of interesting stuff happen here in the next, week or so. Just given what we're seeing from everything going on right now is what it is. And like I said, the saddest fact of the matter is you got people who, like I said, these same Episcopalian churches are bringing in all kinds of motherfuckers from, these third world nations that are never going to assimilate, etc. And they're the ones being all like, oh, no, we're not going to bring in the white people that are actually being genocide on. Oh, by the way, the woman I was talking about in this case was, let's see here. Yeah, it was this dumb cunt right here who is a Obama advisor, like policy advisor or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if she was the one that advised his dumbass on policy to have that fucking BLM terrorist group be given a hate platform at the White House back in like 2014, 2015. So, but yeah, I'd love to see her dumbass rip the U.S. citizenship and kick the fuck out of here to South Africa and be given to them and be, in response, be given like 10 or 20 white people in place of her dumbass or whatever. So, yeah, let me go find the legislation real quick. I will pull it up here for here in Ohio because it was like, I think last week or so. Let me see, because it was supposed to be getting a hearing, I believe it was today or tomorrow, one or two. Yeah, it was today at 4:15, so it's like 2 hours from now. Yeah, they want to do March as Women's History Month, is what it is. And it's interesting because when you look at the people behind this here in the state of Ohio, it is a lot of the same Democrats that are that are Bloomberg puppets and are anti-gun super cunts is what it is. Like specifically, Michelle Grimm is one of these Bloomberg fucking MDA people. So is Crystal Lett. Allison Russo, as we know, stole a bunch of, or I should say, was given a bribe about I think it was around 4 years ago now, this month. Anita Samani should be in Ohio State prison because she admitted to literally killing kids in the womb and helping genocide the unborn here in Ohio. Her and this idiot Tristan are the two retards that are trying to do I forget what the actual title of it is, but it's basically the Cum Act is what it is what I call it, because it's basically like, I think the other was like the Ejaculation Act or something like that's what it was, where you have to like literally be coming inside of a chick or whatever and be like procreating, or you can't come at all kind of thing or whatever it is. And it's basically some stupid like anti-life bullshit is what it is. Yet meanwhile, they of course exempt gays from that whole thing. Like they're fine to fuck each other in the ass. So just so retarded is what it is. But yeah, I'm just getting real sick and tired of all this shit is what it is, man. So here's a bunch of stuff that came up today actually in our thing for introduced legislation here. Let's see what we got going on right now. For the 13th, let's see, regards success sequence, character education curriculum, regulate resales of public utility services as public utilities, adopt Superman as the official superhero of this. What the see, that's what I'm saying, dude. What the fuck kind of retarded shit is this? Like, why are we wasting time on shit like that? Who is even behind this legislation? Oh, of course, it's a Democrat and a Republican. Fucking old drunkard Terrence Upchurch and that idiot Adam Matthews. Fucking stupid motherfuckers. First of all, if we're going to have a superhero as Ohio's superhero, dude, it's not going to be Superman, people. It's going to be the Punisher, motherfuckers. Or some other Marvel character for that matter. Fuck you and your DC shit, bitch. So... Anyway, maybe do Hyperion, actually. Those don't know that was the Marvel equivalent of Superman. There's actually a really good comic back in the day, like in 2000, I think it was 2003 or 4, one of the two, called Squadron Supreme. That was, sorry, the actual group was called Squadron Supreme originally. And then I believe the book in question was actually Supreme Powers, what it was called. Because it was like a retelling of those characters, but like much darker as what it was. So, anyway, let's see what else we got here. See, regards creation, display of veterans benefit and service poster. Let's see, designate Natural Family Month. The fuck even is that? Weeks between Mother's Day and Father's Day is Natural History Month, or Natural Family Month. Yep, sounds about right. Bunch of Republicans on that one. I don't even know who half these people are anymore because there were so many people that got switched out in this General Assembly. Like the ones I know for a fact would be Beth Lear, Josh Williams, Tim Barhost, Adam Byrd, Thaddeus Cleggett, Gary Click, I believe was a second termer. Ron Ferguson, I think, is on his final term. That Tex Fisher guy's on his first term. This is actually one of the guys we need to pay attention to because Tex himself is actually one of the Pro 2A guys that's trying to push through. It's actually 2 Ohio Gunners bills right now for SAPA, the Second Preservation Act, and the other one would be a better version of constitutional carry that would basically clean up whatever was not put in constitutional carry originally in 2022 to allow us to carry in more places and allow us to actually have like true, like stand your ground constitutional carry is what it is there. So Sarah Fowler Arthur, I believe, is on her 3rd term right now, but she might be a 2nd term. I'm not sure. I can't think she's 3rd term right now. So I know Roden McLean is on his final term, I believe, in the State House right now. So, and yeah, there's a bunch of other people. Matthew Kishman is the one that replaced Reggie Stolfus, my old state rep there. I think Kishman is my current state rep. I'm not sure because I've moved now, obviously, and I don't know if he represents this area, if he represents a different part of Stark County is what it is. So I need to figure out who that is. If it's going to be him I need to contact or somebody else I need to contact here in the next hour or so and be like, hey, man, like, you guys got to do something about these fucking trains, man, seriously. Because both yesterday and this morning, literally fucking 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, dude. Like 6, 8, 10 trains coming through. Blasting horns and stuff. And it's like either ban the horn blast at that time in the morning or put the money forward to start building sound dampening barricades around these fucking train tracks in this area, dude. And not only this area, but also the rest of Ohio, for that matter. In major cities, Columbus, etc. there. Where I know it's affecting those people too, for that matter. So, yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous what it is. So, anyway. Let's see what else we got here. Got an act, breast examination and screening test, or BEST Act. Let's see, this is it's a mix of Republican Democrat. So it looks like it's mostly Republicans that are on the top of it, and it's Democrats that jumped in there as well. Some of them anyway. Okay. See, regards court and court procedures. Increase the amount of standard homestead exemption. Cap cost sharing for prescription insulin drugs, diabetes devices. Prohibit certain publications using. Prohibit certain publications during 30 days before an election. I'll check that one out in a minute here. That sounds interesting. See, authorized temporary property tax credit for certain homesteads. It should be every homestead, and she don't pay property taxes at all anymore. Fuck that shit. Let's see. Regards food dyes, PFAs, fluoride, and certain substance releases. I'm guessing this is get the show our food supply. I guess almost on that one. Modify certain property tax rollbacks. And then we got stuff like this. Designate Captain Joshua Michael McClemens Memorial Highway. See, I have no problem with this legislation there, but like, you don't need to do like a particular piece for like everybody like that. Just do like a blind, literally like a blind one at that point, where it's just like whatever this piece of legislation is, anything that we add to it later on or whatever would just be Memorial Highway stuff, changing the name of them or whatever it is there, and it would be for people that are like fallen soldiers and shit. But yeah, it's stupid to sit there and waste like, 10, 20, 30 bills when you could have literally one for the entire General Assembly. and it would just do a blanket thing for any of them that you want to put in there is what it is then. So then we got this one finally, which was regards filing for certificate of qualification of employment. So what's that one about? Looks like some Dems and some Republicans both. See, revised code to modify when a person may file a petition for a certificate of qualification of employment. Weird. Seems strange. I do want to see what this prohibition thing is here. Okay, prohibit certain government publications concerning candidates of ballot issues during the 3 days before an election cycle. So I'm guessing this would be the shit where it's the attack ads from like Soros and Bloomberg and stuff like that that have been constantly running for ever, pretty much is what it is. And that doesn't happen, by the way. We need to just fucking ban that shit outright. So anyway. But yeah, so today has been, or since the last couple of days, has been pretty interesting. Here's what it is. So I'm going to go to the comment section here on X for a couple minutes because I want to read. Sorry, my fucking connection stability keeps dipping in and out. It's weird that it only does it on StreamYard because it doesn't seem to be an issue on when I'm using the Rumble thing. So it's got to be something with StreamYard and my internet connection or something. But yeah, this one's interesting here. This guy here said, "Did you know the South African government currently has 116 race-based laws against white citizens, from racial quotas on the sports fields to broad-based Black economic empowerment, or B-BBEE, in the workplace?" I know that one for a fact because I remember hearing about that during, I believe it was Lauren Southern's Farmlands documentary she talked about then. And other people did too, for that matter. And it said, all this racial insanity takes place under the banner of nice-sounding words, such as ratification, equality, diversity, and transformation, but instead, the outcome is inequality, looting, self-enrichment, and the destruction of the public service. And these two kids that are sitting right there in that picture, it's basically a ghetto slum in that country where it's basically this like white only space that white people can have, that can be in, or whatever the case be. And it's them creating their own little thing because they were all like kicked out of the society is what it was. And so they're basically having to like farm their own shit to survive is what it is there. And they're not even really thriving, they're just surviving is what it is on a daily basis. But that's the difference though, is they're actually able to, grow their own food crops and stuff like that and survive at least day to day is what it is there. And hopefully those are going to be most of what's coming in here though is what it is. Because these are the people we actually need in our country who would actually benefit the most and benefit us the most because it would actually be putting back into the system is what it is there. So, and going back to what I said about Zimbabwe too, which brings me back to this one right here, which is this American Wolf guy saying, fantastic post. Most people don't remember when Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of the African continent. Zimbabwe did the same kind of dumb shit South Africa is doing right now. Today it imports almost all of its food goods and is desperately broke. Exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're gonna find out very quickly what it is. And the thing is, like, I know here in America with our farming and stuff like that, what we usually do with our crops and stuff is you'll have like a year as reserve, or like whatever's on the shelf is like cans or whatever. Like that's like the previous year of reserves, basically. Or sorry, No, sorry, I messed it up actually. So what's on the shelves right now is from, I believe, 2 years ago. We have the next canning of crops that are already like in cans that are sitting in warehouses and stuff like that. That would be from the previous year. And then you would have whatever is being picked out of the fields now would be 2 years from now. Whereas I believe in South Africa they maybe have like 1 year of that stuff, if at all. So pretty much whatever was taken out of the ground last year would be getting eaten right now. And then whatever would be planted right now would pretty much be whatever they'd have next year. And when you're taking over people's farmlands, when you're genociding people, when you're destroying the farms themselves, and you're producing nothing, yeah, you're gonna find out pretty quick. You're gonna be eating dirt pretty quick, is what it is there, dude. So it's just really dumb shit, honestly, in general, and it just proves like just truly how fucking retarded these people are, is what it is. So. And then, like this guy here showed, it was farming in Rhodesia versus farming in Zimbabwe. He said these folks are too ignorant to maintain anything, as they learned in Zimbabwe, and begged white farmers to return there. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, I know with Zimbabwe and other countries like that, when you actually look at the like before you had Venezuela be like the top of like debt or whatever, there was like this race of debt where it was like Zimbabwe, I believe South Sudan, and then there was like a third country that was also in some kind of African nation that were like the top three that were the poorest nations on earth, basically. And it's interesting because there's been people that have gone over to like South Sudan and stuff like that, and they've talked about having cattle or having like some kind of like pig, whatever it is there, like some kind of farm animal is what it is. And the reason a lot of them will raise like these various cattle, what it is because when they actually have the cattle, this living cow, whatever it produces, whether it be milk or anything else for that matter, or it's just able to eat and then eventually be slaughtered for its meat is what it is. Those animals maintain their value while they're living, versus if you have just a bunch of money and your country begins to hyperinflate like crazy, and your money goes from like this much money is what it takes to get a piece of bread now, and then it's this much money and this much money, etc. It's unsustainable is what it is. And so yeah, you have retained value in livestock, you have retained value in farming and crops and stuff like that, what it is. And that's what unfortunately a lot of people don't realize, because they're so low IQ, they're fucking ignorant is what it is. And they're just dumb in general. And yeah, they're going to find out very quickly that when they're, starving to death in a year or two, they only have themselves to blame at that point for killing people of a different race that were literally feeding their dumbasses. So. And going back to that thing, you had this dude talking about land grabs and stuff, and as this person pointed out, said, "Will the 50 refugee and this is white farmers be able to produce that in the United States of America?" Maybe. Depends if we give them the land or not. I mean, they can always go work for farmers as it is right now too, for that matter. Like, it wouldn't have to be them being given farmland. They could just basically, the farmers that we already have right now, they could just go work for the farmers what it is right there. And they would already know how to farm is what it is. So if nothing else, maybe they could even give, pointers to American farmers for that matter, and be like, hey, like if the soil is doing this, like do this to it, or whatever the case be, to produce like a better yield or something. So, who knows? But it'll be interesting to see what happens, though. Like I said, I think we're definitely in a time period of interesting history is what it is right now. And like the one thing I've realized in the last probably 6 to 7 years of my life right now is that, when you look back at like history of the 60s and stuff like that, when you had racial segregation, and then it was, desegregation and the civil rights movements and stuff like that. And I believe really what we're seeing now is we are seeing our own version of that here in the 2020s. Like, we're seeing people finally having enough of it and being like, no, you're not going to kill us just for being a white person or whatever the case be. And, it's just people fighting back is what it is. And it's like, oh, if you want to call me a racist for whatever the case be, then they're just going to say some racist shit like that Charlotte woman did is what it is there. Speaking of which, I haven't checked her Give Sun Go lately. Let's see if see what that's at right now, if it's even still up right now. Oh, it looks like it's slowed down quite a bit, actually. We are now. Yeah, looks like we're at just over $750,000 now with her. $774,307 out of $1 million. That's still a lot of money, though, dude. Still a lot of money. Yeah, I got people giving 50s and 100s a couple minutes ago. $5 in the last hour there. $10 here, $20 there, $5 there, $10 there, $7 there. I think the minimum you can give is like $5 what it is there, and I understand people donating like the minimum is what it is there. They're just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, here's $5. I don't need it, or whatever the case be. I mean, shit, if I had $770,000 right now, fuck, man. I'd be buying some property for real. Not giving a fuck. So, as it is right now, I'm trying to fight for other benefits right now. Got a letter yesterday in the mail about how I need to provide a rent receipt, which I don't even have to provide is what it is to them. I have my rental agreement that I can provide them. Hopefully that's enough. And then some other things here, and then basically from there I gotta go and do that stuff up right now and get that done, and I gotta should check the date on that again, because I don't know if I can even do this before the time, because I think it's gonna be pretty quick here. Just look at the time on this thing right here. Oh yeah, there's no way I get this done in time, because it's literally the 18th I have until they're claiming, and it's only 5 days from now. And I know for a fact I'm not going to have my my water bill, or I guess technically I have electric bill right now is what it is. Yeah, it'll be electric, and it would be my rent that I would need. So yeah, if I can get those two things together, I can do that right now, and they'll just that tomorrow's what it is then. So yeah, hopefully I can get that through and probably be getting some SNAP benefits is what it is then, so I can actually feed myself. Because right now, between the rent, the electricity, the water, and my cable, or not my cable, but my internet, I'm pretty much at my end for what I would have for my full benefits check is what it is. And that would all be out the door at that point. I have nothing left for food. And that's if they even give me my full benefits check right now, because they're supposed to still be doing that now. And when I talked to them the other day, they're like, oh, we're not sure if we're actually going to give you the full amount this time around or whatever. And it's like, dude, you fucked me over for 2 months now. Like, give me the fucking full amount. Give me the back shit, too, for that matter, that you should be owing me. It's like $600 at this point. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do pretty soon here. But, anyway, fucking trains are coming through again. I was going to go take a nap here in a little bit, but stupid fucking trains keep keeping me awake over damn minute is what it is now. It's like no wonder I'm physically exhausted in the last 40-something days I've been here. Dealing with that fucking bullshit all fucking day. And every fucking night it seems like. But anyway. So basically, that's where we're at right now, though. You got stuff going on there in South Africa. You got some people being given refugee status in those countries, what it is. You got other people doing whatever now. And then you got dumbasses doing fucking crimes in Virginia and claiming that pranks is what it is. So who the fuck knows anymore, man? But on that note, I am going to call it a day because I am exhausted, and I'm going to try my hardest to take a nap out here for like an hour or two. And then from there, I'm basically going to figure out some stuff I got to do, then go from there. So, but yeah. So basically, fuck around and find out is what it is. Don't do stupid ass crimes and claim they're stupid ass pranks. And you're probably going to survive is what it is the moral of the story of the day, people. So anyway, till later. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay safe. Always be caring. Always be armed. Everything else like that. And yeah, stand your ground where you can. And if you're not in a stand your ground state, if you're not in a castle doctrine state, move to one, because you are much better off when it comes to having to defend your life and the lives of your children, etc. So, later, y'all.